to do
Just
that.
quickly, Russia's also threatened nuclear escalation. Are you comfortable with that when people at home are watching this, worrying that you could put us at risk?
Well, it's very
Nuclear war?
important. It's very important that we're steadfast in our support for Ukraine. Russia is the aggressor,
Even
and
if
Russia,
it unleashes nuclear war?
Russia has to be the one that makes the move to stop this war. It's within their gift, but we must support Ukraine. It's impacting not just Ukraine; it's impacting the rest of the world, including the UK.
Is your message to viewers back home that there will not be a nuclear war, because that is what Russia is threatening?
My message is that we need to ensure that Ukraine is put in the best possible position. This is 1,000 days of conflict, and there is a very high cost if Russian aggression is seen to pay off.
This is my video update on this Wednesday evening, November the 20th, coming to you from Budapest, Hungary. Very late evening on this Wednesday. Let's talk about some news, and let's start things off, of course, with the big story, which is the British Storm Shadow missile strikes into Russian territory, into the Kursk region. 12 Storm Shadow missiles were launched into Kursk. The results of this strike, hard to tell, hard to know what exactly happened, but some reports are saying that all 12 Storm Shadow missiles were shot down. Other reports are saying that 6 were shot down, 6 got through and hit their intended target, which reports claim was some sort of command bunker or a military command facility. I don't know. We're going to have to wait, I imagine, until tomorrow, when the Russian Ministry of Defense gives us some sort of an official statement. I imagine tomorrow we're going to get an official statement from the Russian Ministry of Defense. The Foreign Ministry and the Ministry of Defense were very quick to come out with a statement with the ATACMS missile strike from the U.S. They were very quick to come out with a statement and say that it was 6 missiles that were launched, 5 were shot down, 1 was hit, and the debris fell on some sort of building, which caused a fire, and there were 0 casualties. That was the Russian Ministry of Defense and the Russian Foreign Ministry that first reported on the U.S. ATACMS missile strike into Russia. With the UK Storm Shadow missiles, nothing. We haven't had any statement from the Russian military. There is some video footage, allegedly from a Ukraine drone, which claims to show the Storm Shadow missiles hitting Kursk. I don't know. I can't say if this is real or not, or if this is a fake. Some people say this is real. Other analysts say that these missiles, the explosions, don't look like something that a Storm Shadow missile would do. And other people say that the region that is being hit doesn't look like Kursk. It looks very green for November, for late November. I don't know, and we're going to have to wait a day or two, and we'll probably have a better understanding as to what happened with this Storm Shadow missiles strike into Russia. But look, the UK has attacked Russia. That's it. It's that simple. The UK has attacked Russia. Think about that. The US yesterday attacked Russia. Today, the UK has attacked Russia. The UK and the US, because the Storm Shadow missiles, they're British Storm Shadow missiles, but they need the US programming and targeting and technical assistance and all of that stuff to launch those missiles. So this was really a US-UK joint strike into Russian territory. So this is insane, crazy escalation. Wow. Crazy escalation. Putin is silent. You guys notice how Putin is silent. He hasn't said anything. And you know what? If you've been following Putin over the years, you know that when Putin goes silent, something big is going down, or something big is about to go down. Whenever Putin goes silent, look out. Look out. If I was Zelensky, if I was evil Professor Biden, if I was boring Keir Starmer, I would be very worried at the fact that Putin has been silent over the past couple of days. Lavrov, not silent. He is saying this is a huge escalation. Maria Zakharova, she has said that the nature of the conflict has changed. Medvedev, of course, Medvedev, the hawk, he is saying that this is a huge escalation. Russia's going to retaliate. What else do you expect from Medvedev? Hardliner. And Patrushev, or no, not Patrushev, Narushkin, he also said that Russia's going to retaliate. We've had some other high-level Kremlin officials and members of the parliament, of the Duma. They've also said that Russia is going to retaliate, and retaliate hard, and retaliate in a way that is visible and public, and the whole world is going to notice. So the Kremlin, top Kremlin officials, top officials in the parliament, they're putting out the signal that Russia is going to strike back, and strike back hard, because Russia does have to. They have to establish deterrence. They don't have a choice. They're going to have to retaliate, and it's going to have to be in a way that's public, because you're going to have to establish that deterrence again, because if you don't, then the collective West is going to continue to escalate. And who knows where this will go. Maybe we'll even get to Tomahawk missiles being approved by Biden over the next couple of months to hit Russian territory. So we're in very, very dangerous times. And the $275 million military aid package that Biden is sending to Ukraine includes chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear protective equipment. Why would this be included in this military aid package? What is the Biden White House expecting? What is the Pentagon expecting? Are they expecting a big Russian retaliation to the level of tactical nukes or something like that? I don't know. Is this just a bluff? Is this in preparation for some sort of false flag? I have no idea. But this was included in the military aid package, the $275 million package that was approved yesterday. And a lot of people are talking about the chemical and biological, nuclear protective equipment that's in this package. So all of this was timed to go down to mark the 1,000th day of the conflict in Ukraine. All of this was timed for the 1,000th day. That's why a month ago they started spinning this North Korean troops narrative thing. That's why they gave that script to Zelensky so he could talk about the North Korean troops. That's the reason that the Biden White House gave to green light ATACMS into Russian territory, even though the ATACMS weren't launched into Kursk, where they say the North Korean troops are located. They were launched into Bryansk. So we know that the Biden White House was lying about the North Korean thing, but that was the narrative. That was the script that they came up with a month ago. That was what was given to Zelensky so he could read that script. They built up to the point where Biden, right before the G20, comes out with the decision via the collective West media. They're the ones that broke the story that he has decided to provide long-range missiles to Ukraine to hit Russia. And then we have the G20, and then we have the 1,000th day of the conflict. And I believe tomorrow is Biden's birthday, or today's Biden's birthday. I think that's just coincidence. But all of this was planned months in advance so it could build up to coincide with 1,000 days of conflict in Ukraine. And notice that Biden has not come out with a statement. I don't know, has Keir Starmer come out to speak to the people of the UK? Biden hasn't come out to speak to the people of the United States of America to say, citizens of the United States of America, we have just launched missiles into Russian territory. I mean, no statement, nothing. This is huge. Has Keir Starmer come out to say, citizens of the UK, we have just launched Storm Shadow missiles into Russian territory, so prepare. I mean, this is amazing. This is amazing. Putin has gone silent. No statement from Biden. No statement from Starmer. The US and the UK are attacking Russia. Crazy, crazy stuff. And everyone is silent. Absolutely crazy. Anyway, we wait and see. We wait and we see what Russia is going to do. And we're going to get more missile strikes into Russia. No doubt about it. 6 ATACMS is a big missile strike. 12 ATACMS is big. The Times, the UK Times, is reporting that that Ukraine has 50 ATACMS in inventory. They've been given 50 ATACMS. They've used up 6. I don't believe this story. A lot of disinformation is out there. And if the Times is saying 50, I say 100. I think there's a lot of misinformation and disinformation and fog of war. And someone told the Times to run a story and say there's 50 ATACMS and 6 have been used. I would say that there's probably 100 ATACMS that have been given to Ukraine, give or take, over the past year plus. Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on and talk about Zaluzhny. Zaluzhny is making news all of a sudden. Interesting development with Zaluzhny, the one-time commander and chief of the Ukraine military. And then he became the ambassador of Ukraine to the UK. And then the BBC and the Wall Street Journal and all of the collective West media and the German media, they ran with stories saying that Zaluzhny was the mastermind behind the Nord Stream pipeline sabotage. So that's Zaluzhny. He is part of the Poroshenko-Klitschko crowd that would like to take power in Kiev, remove the man in the green T-shirt and take over as president of Ukraine. He's part of that group. But Spiegel, they ran an article where they claim that Zaluzhny at first was looking at blowing up TurkStream. That was the first target, blowing up the TurkStream pipeline. And then this plan fell apart, according to Spiegel, and that's when they shifted to Nord Stream. And this was all Zaluzhny, or at least the plan was pitched to Zaluzhny, and he was into it. He said, hell yeah, let's do this. That is what Spiegel is reporting. The German publication. That's what they are saying. An incredible article from Spiegel. By the way, they also say that in this article that the guy that actually blew up the pipeline, Gilligan, and the skipper and Marianne, the one dude's name is Chervinsky. Roman Chervinsky is Gilligan, right? So he was in charge of the whole Nord Stream sabotage. Like, he was there. He's like the guy that coordinated and did it all with his team. And they interviewed him. This is what they're saying. They actually interviewed him, which is incredible. They interview the guy that blew up Nord Stream, allegedly blew up Nord Stream. I don't know what the hell is going on here. But he said that the CIA was training them from even before the conflict in Ukraine, going back to 2019. The U.S. trained group had been planning and carrying out clandestine operations for the Ukrainian security apparatus for years, Der Spiegel reports, adding that its members also set their sights on the Russian gas pipelines as early as in 2019, some 3 years before Moscow launched its military operation against Kiev. A Ukrainian group that is allegedly behind the Nord Stream gas line pipelines explosion in September 2022 has had long-standing connections to the CIA, Der Spiegel reported in a lengthy piece published on Wednesday. U.S. agents trained some members of the sabotage team for many years, including its reported mastermind, Roman Chervinsky, according to the German outlet. And they're interviewing this guy, blew up Nord Stream, and they're interviewing him. Hey, tell us about Nord Stream. Sure, let me tell you about Nord Stream. So the CIA approached me. I was talking to them. We had this plan. I pitched it to Zaluzhny. At first, we were thinking TurkStream. That didn't work out, so I was talking to Zaluzhny, and then we said Nord Stream. That's pretty much how it went down. Just, what's going on here? What is going on? So that's Germany. Germany. Der Spiegel. That's what they're saying about Zaluzhny. Okay? The UK, they are reporting, they're running with the story, and they're reporting about Zaluzhny at a training camp for Ukraine soldiers who are going to be sent to the front line. They're being trained in the UK, and ambassador to the UK, Zaluzhny, went to this training facility and he gave them a pep talk. Yeah, he gave them a big speech, a pep talk, and he basically told them, actually, let me read you what he told them. He said, "We have only one Ukraine. No one will defend it except us. Remember that the war is becoming more brutal every day. It leaves almost no chance for survival. It leaves almost no chance for survival. Learn not to fear death, not to fear looking the enemy in the eye." He basically told the soldiers that are going to be sent to the front line, being trained in the UK, he basically told them that they're going to go to the front line and they will not survive. That's what Zaluzhny told them. And this is what the UK is reporting. Now, that's crazy. That's insane. That's horrific. That's horrific. But the reason that they're running this story and the reason that Zaluzhny went there and gave this speech is because this is exactly what the Biden White House and the collective West, the EU and the UK, this is exactly what they want to hear. Member Sullivan gave an interview the other day, and what did Sullivan say? The long-range missiles are not going to make a difference. All the weapons we've given to Ukraine are not going to make a difference. They're not going to win the war. What's going to win the war is more soldiers being sent to the front line. So they want to hear this from Zaluzhny. They want to hear someone come out and say, we need to send more soldiers to the front line. You're not going to make it back, but we need you to go to the front line, because this is something that Zelensky is hesitating to do. He still hasn't lowered the age. I believe it's still at 25? And they want him to lower it. They want him to send more soldiers to the front lines. But Zelensky knows that if he does that, then his position as president is shaky. So they want to hear Zaluzhny say, you know what? Zelensky won't do it. I'll do it. So you know what I think is going on here? I think it's a battle between Germany and the UK as far as who's going to run Ukraine. Or maybe you can look at it as the EU and the UK. The UK is pulling for Zaluzhny. That's why he's ambassador in the UK. He's their guy. They want Zaluzhny to take over, and they want Zaluzhny to start sending more Ukrainians to the front line. So they're pulling for Zaluzhny. So they run this story and this speech from Zaluzhny. Germany and the EU, they want to keep Zelensky in power. So what do? They get Der Spiegel to run articles about how Zaluzhny is the guy that not only blew up Nord Stream, but he also was thinking of blowing up TurkStream as well. So they're trying to prevent Zaluzhny from taking over for Zelensky. That's what I think is going on here. All right, one more story, and we'll do a very quick clown world. And it's the New York Post. The New York Post, Murdoch. He is running an article saying that Tulsi Gabbard and Matt Gaetz They must be prevented from entering the Trump administration, the Trump White House at all costs. They must not be confirmed. Gabbard and Gates. That is what the New York Post is running with. Rupert Murdoch does not want Gabbard and Gates in the Trump administration, which to me means that Gates and Gabbard absolutely must be in the Trump White House. That's what it tells me. Man, they are scared of Gabbard and they are scared of Matt Gaetz. Anyway, a quick clown world, and we will wrap this late night video up. And and here's a post from Matt Rosendale. I believe he's a representative for, I want to say, Wyoming. This is his official Twitter account. I don't know how accurate this is, but he says, in case you missed it, the Department of State just told Ukraine they can keep $4.05 billion in hard-earned taxpayer money they originally were supposed to pay back. Enough is enough. I'm tired of our money being wasted on endless foreign wars. And he actually has the directive from the U.S. government saying that this loan of, I believe it was the loan of $8 billion, and half of it, $4 billion, Ukraine can keep without having to pay it back. Just take it. Just take the money. Don't worry about paying us back. Anyway, the clown world for today, very quick clown world. We go back to the group photo from the G20. Yeah, this is a 3-part clown world story, but this is the final part. The group photo was taken again. They retook the group photo, and this time around, they included Biden. Biden, I believe, and Trudeau. Biden and Trudeau and Maloney, and from what I understand, they were placed in the front row, right? Or Biden was in the front and Trudeau and Maloney were behind them. Anyway, they were front and center. Biden was front row. They retook the group photo. And now everyone's happy. G20 group photo retaken to include Biden. In the second family photo taken on Tuesday, Biden was placed front and center. And they gave him some ice cream. So Biden was super duper happy. Treat him like a freaking child, man. Anyway, that's the video, everybody. TheDuran.locals.com. We are on Rumble, Odyssey, BitChute, Telegram, Rockfin, and X. Go to the Duran shop, pick up some merch, like this video, share this video, subscribe to this channel. Take care.